Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 2068. This week we've been celebrating the Friends of Steve McQueen Car and Motorcycle Show that takes place June 5th on the campus of the Boys Republic in beautiful Chino Hills, California. To get your tickets and learn more, go to SteveMcQueenCarshow.com. Be prepared to be inspired.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. Today I'm playing with an old friend, actually a returning guest. He hasn't been here for about 4 years, but we've stayed connected, of course. He's tied to the Friends of Steve McQueen Car and Motorcycle Show, Ron Harris. He was my guest number 1031 back in May of 2018 when I was promoting the show like I've been this week, and he's back to talk more about the Boys Republic and the car show. Ron, welcome back to Cars Yeah. Do you have any gear, and are you ready to release the clutch?
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you very much for having me on your show again. It's an honor.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back, my friend. It's been far too long, and I really wanted you to come back and talk a lot more with us today about the Boys Republic and this really important car show. So we're going to be focusing more on that than you today, but I'm going to tie some fun question into the whole story. Now, one thing I didn't ask you, though, what's one little thing about you, Ron, that maybe people don't know?
You're right. That's a good question. I'm not sure where I want to.
Where you want to take it?
Share some of my dark side.
No, not the dark side. Something kind of fun, maybe. You know, I have a lot of people that share different things about that question. Could be hobbies that people don't know about. Could be something from the past that they used to be involved in. A lot of my guests used to be prominent musicians, which is kind of interesting. I'd say a few, but yeah, just maybe one little thing that you like that might be out of the realm of cars or car show or
out of the realm of cars. Yes, I have no secrets in my life. That's for sure. I think that from what I do with the Steve McQueen Car Show and have been for the last 15 years, a lot of people don't know what type of business I've been in. And I've been in my business for over 55 years. I just had an employee this last weekend that we celebrated his retirement after 40 years.
Wow.
I told him I didn't really like people that were quitters. He's, as we speak, he's on his way to live in Iowa, where he was born and raised.
Well, that's pretty amazing. No doubt he had a wonderful career working at your business. Before we move forward, we're going to say thank you to all our sponsors up front today. And then I want you to talk a little bit about this business that you had. So sit tight. We'll be right back. Covercraft's newest 5-layer indoor cover is especially engineered for indoor use, providing maximum dust protection when your vehicle's stored in the garage. Your 5-layer indoor cover is custom tailored with Covercraft's attention to detail, form, and fit with the quality and attention to detail that's been their standard since 1965. Even if your vehicle is always inside, dust and fallout can damage the paint, and an extra layer of soft, breathable material protects from accidental bumps and rubs. Covercraft protects cars, trucks, motorcycles, RVs, trailers, and watercraft too. Every one of my vehicles is protected with a Covercraft cover, custom fit to fit the car like a glove. And I have a deal for you. If you use the code YEAH21 at covercraft.com, you'll get 10% off your order plus free shipping. That's right, 10% off and free shipping. Simply use the code YEAH, YEAH21 at checkout. Covercraft, protecting the things that move you. I was tired of my rates for my collector car insurance going up every year for no explainable reason. My carrier seemed to be turning into a media company versus an insurance company, and I realized that a portion of my policy premium was paying for all those so-called free media goodies. So I did my homework, I talked to knowledgeable collectors, shopped around, and discovered American Collectors Insurance. They've been serving the collector car hobby since 1976. You last that long by properly serving your customers' insurance need, not with a lot of fluff. ACI is ranked the #1 online collector car insurance provider according to Google, Trustpilot, Facebook, and they offer their real person guarantee live support. No never-ending phone loops when you need help. Plus, because you don't use your classic car as a daily driver, you could save up to 40% compared to regular auto insurance. American Collectors Insurance provides agreed value policies. So if you experience a total loss to your collector vehicle or it's stolen, you'll be paid the amount listed on your declaration page, less any deductibles, of course. No ifs, ands, or buts. Give them a call today and ask for your free quote at 866-ACI-YEAH. That's 866-224-9324. Tell them you're a friend of mine, Mark Greens at Cars Yeah. American Collectors Insurance. Classic car insurance designed by collectors for collectors. AutoGeek's Blackfire SiO2 Spray Sealant. It's a spray-on, wipe-off sealant that's quick, safe, and easy to clean and protect your vehicles. I love using it on all my cars. AutoGeek's Blackfire SiO2 Spray Sealant is a spray-on, wipe-away sealant that uses SiO2 ingredients to provide a slick, brilliant, and long-lasting shine. Silicon dioxide is known to be one of the most effective ingredients in car care products, and Blackfire Spray Sealant takes advantage of every stunning feature it has to offer. This sealant will protect your paint from road film, dirt, and other common contaminants while providing an impeccable, long-lasting, hydrophobic surface that forces water to sheet and bead on your paint for months. Go to autogeek.net to get yours and for the best product selections on the internet today, along with their skilled technical support. Autogeek.net is where I go for all my detailing needs. That's autogeek.net. Check them out today. I've discovered Linkage. It's a new quarterly publication and website that covers the automotive market, driving, restoring, collecting, and discovering your passion for motor vehicles. Linkage is about experiences, opinions, and values. Linkage is an actual informed, reasoned opinion based on first-hand experiences. A talented Linkage team covers the automotive world, the people who share your passion and mine, smart, considered, rational, and experienced opinions, ones you can learn from and grow. That includes our passion that drives auctions and the collector car market. So come with me and join us on this journey. And be sure to use the code CARSYEAH when you subscribe, and they'll give you $10 off. Boom! Linkage, geared for the automotive life. Subscribe today at linkagemag.com. So Ron, tell us a little bit about the business that you've had all these years.
I'm kind of in an unusual business, or have been, and now my children run it. But we're in a fountain beverage supply business. We sell CO2 gas and fountain syrups to bars and restaurants and fast food locations. We do business with like McDonald's and In-N-Out Burgers, Del Tacos, and Chick-fil-A's and so on for CO2 gas. So primarily in Southern California area, and I've been doing it all my life. But I've been involved, as you know, with the Steve McQueen car show since the inception. And my relationship with Chad McQueen goes back before that. Chad and I have had a good relationship. But the show started by one of our 356 club members suggesting we do a community affair type event, suggested the car show. One thing led to the other. He told me about the Boys Republic. He told me that Steve McQueen was a former student there, and I told him that that's funny you should mention that because I know Steve's son Chad. Yeah. And one thing led to the other, and therefore we have the Steve McQueen car show.
Wow.
But like the answer to your question is not many people know what I've done for a living most of my life, except the people in the industry that I'm in.
Well, and when I first got to know you, I figured you were a fellow racer, a Porsche fanatic like I am, and you just like to donate time to great causes and help people and so forth. And last time I was on the show, we talked about that, this incredible business that you built up. And it's fun for me to hear that your children are running that now and helping you run that. And my hat's off to you. That is difficult to have a business that lasts that long, still doing it today and providing all those fun drinks for all of us that go to all those restaurants and bars and so forth. But today we're going to focus mainly on the show, because this show to me, it's near and dear to my heart for many reasons. But one thing is, I was talking to somebody this morning about it who was called me and said, "Hey, I'm listening to your show. I just heard one of your guests, Don Ince, who was on yesterday. In your case, it was 2 days ago because the way we're recording this. But they didn't know some of the things about motocross and things that he was involved in and Husqvarna. But I think that every city in this country needs a boys' republic in it. And maybe there are other schools like this, but I would like to touch on that first and the importance of what this school does for young boys and now young women as well, girls that don't have the kind of life that maybe you and I had growing up, and they need some help and they're challenged. Can you dig a little deeper into the importance of the boys' republic? And you could probably start by going back to Steve McQueen, because that's where it all began.
Well, thanks again. That is a good way to do it, because my understanding is that Steve's mother dropped him off and said, maybe you can do something with him I can't. That was like around 1946 or 7, and he was there for a couple of years. Today, most boys could be there from 3 or 4 months to a couple of years. The school's age, it's accredited high school, number one. Secondly, the ages of the boys that are there are between 13 and 18. When they turn 18, they can leave if they want. Not surprisingly, a lot of boys will stay after they turn 18 to finish getting their high school degree or whatever, which is always good. Obviously, Steve was one of the most prominent students they've ever had, but they've also had many doctors, lawyers, and councilmen and congressmen.
Wow.
I'm lost in a sense to be able to name all of them. There's people from all sorts of life have gone to school there. People, obviously, all of us are challenged as youth to stay out of trouble, and some of them get caught and end up in some sort of a juvenile detention system if they're unlucky. If they're lucky, they end up in a place like the Boys' Republic. You're right, there are more. This is the only school like it in this particular area. It was started in 1907.
Yeah, I think so.
And it moved to this facility in Chino Hills in like 1921, if I remember correctly. A lady by the name of Fowler started the school for wayward kids and runaways and orphans out in the San Fernando Valley. Then they moved to Chino Hills in 1921. They're very well known for their Della Robbia wreath that they make every year around. They start making them in late October, early November, and ship them out by around Thanksgiving to about around the 5th of December. The Della Robbia wreath is a fresh Douglas fir wreath that the boys at the school participate in putting them together and shipping them out. And they usually do somewhere between 30 and 40,000 every year.
Wow. It's
quite an affair. They have a very unique building that they assemble them in and ship them from, kind of a conveyor belt system, and it's interesting to see it being done. As you probably recall, the slogan at the school, the motto of the school is nothing without labor. And so every boy that's going to school there has to perform some sort of a job as well as while they're going to school. And they have plenty of opportunities to do a lot of different work. After they're doing the regular curriculum for school, there are trade classes that they can take, and the trade classes could be landscaping, masonry, graphic art, wood shop, metal shop, automotive, of course. And probably the most popular is the teaching bakery that has been built in recent years with the help of our car show.
Yeah, the Culinary Arts Building.
Yeah, the Culinary Arts Building was a building that was remodeled, and doing so, they built the teaching bakery. And it's a brand new building. I mean, you'd never know it was remodeled. They've done a fabulous job with there, and now they have a room they call a bistro that they're able to hold like Rotary Club meetings or our meetings for our car show, city council meetings if they so desire, get away from the city. And they have an open kitchen where they prepare their food for these meetings, which they do for our car show meetings. One of the nice things about having a meeting there is that not only do we get a bite to eat, so to speak, the desserts are fabulous.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I email everybody, I tell them if they don't show up, I get their dessert. So, and I really don't need it, but I love it. So.
Yeah. Well, it's a marvelous school. And as I said, I think every major city in the country needs a Boys Republic in it. It's just too bad that these things don't exist. And I'm sure something like that probably exists other places, but let's dive into the car show because of course it's all about cars out here. And this is one of those shows. I just had a friend text me yesterday and he said, "Hey, Mark," he lives in San Diego. I just saw him down at the La Jolla Concours and he said, "I'm thinking about driving up to the Boys Republic, to the school, to the Friends of Steve McQueen Car and Motorcycle Show. Is it worth going to?" And I actually called him back. I said, absolutely. This is one of those car shows that will be very different than most concours events you've been to because it's so diverse. There's so many cool things there. So could you kind of walk through some of the things that people can expect to see? And I know that each year the show features a past Steve McQueen movie. What is this year's feature film?
This is from a documentary by Bruce Brown on Any Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of motorcycles, off-road attitude for the show. Myers Manx is going to be on display, the new owners from Myers Manx, and Freeman Thomas, who was one of their design people, are bringing out some vehicles, and we're going to demonstrate those as well as having some motocross type jumps and stuff like that.
Nice.
Also, because of this year's theme of On Any Sunday, Don, who you mentioned earlier, Don Entz with Viking Motors, was able to reach out and find what was young boy on a bicycle in the streets of, I think he said that it was filmed down in Dana Point, the initial opening scene of that film. Anyway, he was able to reach the young man, and he's going to attend our dinner on Saturday night.
The actual kid from the movie?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And the bike. He's bringing the bike and the movie.
He still has his bike. Why? Wow.
He's 60-some years old now.
Yeah.
Obviously, that movie was, I think the movie's 50-some years old as well.
Yep, I remember it.
And there's a couple other people that were in the movie, I think, that are either, in fact, there's more than one person riding a bike that's supposed to be at the movie. And we think there's a motorcycle or two that was used at that time. I don't think it's a Steve McQueen Yamaha that he rode in not Yamaha, Husqvarna, that he rode in the movie.
Very cool. Well, yeah, it sounds like a combination of a lot of very cool things. And there's some other fun things that happen at this event that perhaps you could kind of share. One of them is, are they going to be having the glider rides like they had last time I was at the show?
Well, we think so. Last year we couldn't do them because the wind came up. It was predicted it was going to be too windy, and they decided not to do that. We are going to have the airplanes, which is unusual for any car show. We are able to get permission from the FAA to fly planes and land them at the school. As you're aware of, there's over 200 plus acres of land there.
Yeah.
So they're able to cut away some of the agricultural field, which is mainly alfalfa, and cut away a landing area, and the planes can land and take off.
Cool.
We all, also the same areas where we do the glider rides, catapulting the gliders into the air. If we do that, which we're trying to do it, but whether it'll happen, that's another story. That comes in from the glider club out of Warner Springs, if you're familiar with it, where they're located. We also have the Remax balloon going up and down. That's tethered, though. We control that by tethering it. Some of the other unusual things is we have you can bring your motorhome and camp out during the car show. Come there 3 days ahead of time. No charge for camping out. And we get quite a few vintage motorhomes every year.
Nice.
To the car show. We also, last year, we had Jason Rupert's nostalgia funny car, 11,000 horsepower funny car there.
Oh, my. Don
Padone was there with the Snake signing autographs. Then there's the other organization called WAPA, W-A-P-A. Don't ask me what it stands for, Western something or other. But we always call it the hit and miss. They're the kind of old water pumps from farms and stuff like that that these guys bring in, and most of them are gasoline powered, and they start them up. I mean, there's usually about 50 different types of motors. I think the year you were there, we had the big steamroller there as well. Was that the year you were at the show?
Yeah, it was very cool.
Called a case. That was called a case steamroller. There's not that many of them around anymore. Kind of looks like something that's going to flatten the asphalt on the freeway. We get quite an array of cars. Statistically speaking, we average around 400 cars every year. We've had a high of about 600. Get 100 or so motorcycles. We gross anywhere between $450,000 to $876,000. The average is $450,000.
Wow.
A year, and our average net's better than around $320,000.
Wow.
From the show. So
yeah.
I doubt that there's any other shows in the country that kind of raise that kind of money for the way we do this. Mainly from sponsors and donations that we get. Certainly not from registration, although we probably average about 10,000 people to the show every year. Mm-hmm. And the money that we raise goes back to the school. There's nobody involved in the committee or the organization that gets paid for anything. I mean, we have expenses like our program that we put out, which is usually roughly about 60 pages in the program. So it's got the advertisers and various pictures and whatnot from either previous shows and so on. We also do a rally, which we just had a couple of weeks ago. This year we drove up to Paso Robles area. We did a couple drives through the vineyards up in that area. We have roughly 48 cars is the number of registered cars that we take every year. 48 was the number that Steve used to race under.
Oh, I see.
So
cool.
That was the significance there. That with 48 cars plus the staff, we have a little over 100 people attending. So it's a big event, and that money goes towards the car show as well. Next year, we don't have a designated place yet for next year, but that'll be on our website as soon as the committee decides where to go. Mm-hmm. And the money that we use is through the years. So the first thing we did, going back to practically the beginning, was we've helped upgrade all of the bathrooms and showers in all the 6 cottages where the boys live. Each cottage will house up to 25 boys, so that the school can handle about 150 boys maximum at any one time. The census is down a little bit right now. We wish it wasn't, but the state of California keeps trying different things, but none of them are as successful as the Boys Republic in rehabilitating or giving kids a hand up instead of pushing them down.
Yeah.
California detention system is not where you want your kid to go if he's got problems.
No.
Anyway, the money's been used to improve the cottages. This last year, a couple of years ago, the money was used what we call the road and track. We replaced the running track around the football field. As you know, there's a football field and a baseball field. Like I said, Boys Republic is an accredited high school, so you've got both football and baseball going on as well. There's a gymnasium with basketball, a volleyball court, tennis courts. Kids are well taken care of once they're there. I would say in almost all cases, they're in better care there than they ever were at home.
Yeah.
Anyway, the track's been replaced, and they're literally doing the infield roads as we speak. From what I was told today, they had them out there working on some of the roads, which were still gravel. They're trying to asphalt down.
Nice.
There's a wood shop at the school where we build all the awards. We prefer to call them awards, not trophies, because the awards are a little more subjective to the attitude of those who are judging, if you will, which we try to incorporate the boys into that part of it. It's not a concours. We kind of ask the kids what they think of a car, what is it they like, the color, the interior, the motor, the good looks of it, whatever it may be. And we take it from there with the kids that we get involved.
Nice.
We also have a scholarship fund that we donate some of our money to every year to be sure that there's scholarship money for kids that want to go off to college. And a lot of them do, and some of them have been very successful. But I think the most rewarding part about the school there is how many of them have come back to the school to go to work, to get back to that community that they came from, to help other kids out of the problems that they were in.
Well, that's the thing that I've learned after talking to people is when you learn to give back, you've really learned the secret sauce to life. And definitely the Boys Republic teaches that. I know one of the cool things you do too is the Peterson Museum over in Los Angeles. They have Steve's 1956 Jaguar XK-SS, and they auction off a ride in that car, right? Yeah,
they've done that for a number of years, and that's a very expensive car today from a historical value, which reminds me of another car similar to that. And we didn't get rides from it, but when we did the Thomas Crown Affair, the gentleman that owned the Thomas Crown Affair car lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. His name's Lawrence Ariana. He's got quite a collection. I'd love to share my pictures from his garage, as he called
it. Yeah, Garage Mahal.
Yeah, Garage Mahal would be a very good definition, except that's not Italian. This guy is very Italian.
Okay.
Anyway, he had the original Ferrari, Nard Ferrari from the movie The Thomas Crown Affair.
Okay.
He had his documentary staff contact me when we were doing it, and I get this phone call out of the middle of nowhere. Hey, my name is so-and-so, and I represent Mr. Ariana, who I didn't know who he was at the time, but that was fine. And he says, we happen to have the original car from the movie, Thomas Crown Affair. And I'm thinking, this is BS, But anyway, he goes on. He says, would you like it at the car show? And I said, yeah. And what was your name again? And I start writing all this stuff down. Anyway, I said, okay, well, yeah, we'd love to have it here. Where's it at? And he says, it's in Greenwich, Connecticut. I said, oh, well. I said, we were happy to pay to have it shipped out and so on. And he said, no, we'll bring it. That's okay.
Wow.
We'll take care of it all, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, they brought the Ferrari, and they brought he also owned the Rolls Royce that was used in the movie.
Wow.
He had bought it from Peterson Museum. That's what made me think of that.
Oh, okay.
He restored both of them after he got them to a little better shape than he had originally got them.
That Ferrari's a 68 275 GTS4, Nart Spider, as you said. Pretty, I mean, in its own right, even if it wasn't in a movie with Steve McQueen, incredible car, but that adds a provenance, of course, to that vehicle that kind of goes above and beyond. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they estimated the car to be worth about $30 million when they brought it.
Yeah,
But
well,
it was the number one Nard off the assembly line. It was all hand built aluminum.
yeah.
So.
And you mentioned the Myers-Manx, of course, Bruce Myers, who has been a guest on the show. We lost him sadly last year. That company had just been sold, and you mentioned the new company being there. But I know that when I was last there was a kind of a bit of a remake of, in fact, a friend of mine, Tom Lee, had it made by Louis Shefchik at Dano Fabricating, of the Myers-Manx Doom buggy that was used in that movie as well, which was kind of cool. It had a different front end with the headlights and modified, of course, and so forth. So lots of cool car connections to this show. And again, I would encourage you listeners, you can go to the website, boysrepublic.org, to learn about the school. You can go to Steve McQueen Car Show to learn about the show as well. And I would encourage, if you're going to be anywhere in the area, or even like my friend down in San Diego, make a trek to go see this show, because I think you're going to be surprised. It's very casual, but it's very cool. Of course, the king of cool, Steve McQueen, and it takes place June 5th. So check it out. Is there anything we didn't touch on today, Ron, to entice our listeners to participate, get involved?
Yeah, thanks again for asking. There's essentially, we've turned it into a 3-day weekend. Couple things. We have connections at some local hotels for people to stay out if they want to come up and spend the weekend. Ayers Hotel is one of them. But you can check our website, and also if they have any issues or problems, have them free to contact me. My cell phone number is area code 562-755-8405. I'm happy to talk to anybody or help anybody make accommodations, whatever they might need. Friday night, we're doing just kind of a get-together party, because like I said, we get a lot of different people come up in their campers and stuff and spend the weekend. So we took what was kind of a bonfire situation where we're roasting marshmallows into a little bit of either taco night or something, get together, and we got some entertainment. I think we charge $30 a person, and includes all the food and beer that they can drink.
Wow, what a deal.
Yeah, not a bad deal. Saturday night is the big money maker for us. That's our dinner. We have a live auction, silent auction. We have a wine reception. I do have to say alcohol. We have to be careful because we can't have alcohol anywhere where the kids are at. So like in our wine reception, they have it inside the bistro culinary center. We don't have wine at the dinner. Mm-hmm. We have a wine reception in the dinner, and all the food is prepared by the boys and girls and served by the boys and girls and staff of the Boys Republic. And in many cases, those boys and girls have never done anything like that before in their life, because they may not have been at the school last year to do it in the previous year. So nice. It's all trained by the staff, and the staff does a fabulous job. And again, that's where we really raise our money. That's on Saturday night, and again, that's on our webpage, SteveMcQueenCarShow.com. And then Sunday's the car show. We want all the registered cars to be there as early as possible. We open the gates up about 6:30. We want all the cars parked, hopefully by about 8 o'clock, and when we open the doors to the public.
It's a wonderful event. And, Ron, I can't thank you enough. I mean, the time and dedication you and your team and others have given to this show to make this whole concept work. And I keep saying it. Every city in this country needs a Boys Republic. I don't know why. Well, we won't get into the whys, but why they don't exist. But they really need to do that. It's such a wonderful thing to help young people that are challenged find the right track. And has there ever been a count? How many boys, and now there's the girls' school, it's separate than this campus, but how many boys have been through the Boys Republic? Is there a count?
I would think could get that to you, Mark, and I'm sure I got that statistic someplace, but the number 30,000 rings a bell in my head somewhere along the line.
It's tremendous.
I could be wrong, though.
Well, any number, because when you look at the effect that this can have on one person and then the generations following that, not to mention the impact that these young men have on future people in a positive way versus a negative way they could have had if they went down the wrong tracks. It really is exponential. So again, I encourage you listeners. And if you can't make it to the show, you know what? You can still donate. You can go to theboysrepublic.org. You can go to the website, find places to donate and help them out. This is a tremendous cause that everybody should be considering because it's all about our future. Ron, thank you for spending some time with me today. It's always good to catch up with you. Again, thank you for what you and your team do to make this happen. Lots of volunteers involved here. And for any of you listeners that maybe next year's show want to get involved in some way, you can reach out to Ron. I'm sure he could he will say yes to your help for what they're doing there. Until you and I talk again, my friend, I'll see you down the road at the Friends of Steve McQueen Car and Motorcycle Show. So thank you for spending some time with us today. My hat's off to you.
Thank you, Mark. And I would be amiss if I didn't tell you and your listeners that it is total voluntary group committee that puts this together. It's not me. We do it very democratically. It's not even a benevolent dictator. It's a group affair.
Yeah.
So whether we do it right or wrong, we accept both. Anyway, again, thank you so much for helping us out with this. And
you bet.
I hope your listeners can find time to come. If they can't, obviously you've given them the information. We've given them the information to contact us if they'd like to be involved.
Absolutely.
Thanks again, Mark, and have a good one.
You too, Ron. This has been great fun.
All right, keep the wheels on the road.
Yeah, I always try to do that. And again, listeners, you can find everything on Ron's show notes page. All the links are there. I encourage you to check it out on the Cars Yeah website. See you all at the Friends of Steve McQueen Car and Motorcycle Show at the Boys Republic in Chino Hills. All right. Being a professional automotive technician today requires an understanding of technology, computers, and electrical systems that are highly advanced and very complex. Cars Yeah is pleased to support TechForce Foundation. It's one of our charities of choice, and its efforts to help young people pursue the technical education and careers as automotive techs. Through scholarships, grants, and good old-fashioned hands-on experience with cars, trucks, boats, and more, TechForce and Cars Yeah are working to connect young people with viable careers in the automotive sector. Join us by visiting techforce.org today.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.